What's going on, Alabama fans? Chris Daughtry back with you guys again for another edition of the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. And coming up on today's show, you know what we do on Sundays? It is Overreaction Sunday to Alabama's 30-14 win against Vanderbilt yesterday. Overall, great win for Alabama. Not going to be too negative on today's video. And if you liked that win yesterday versus Vanderbilt, make sure you get down there and like today's show for me. Still in that 24-hour window, so you can still celebrate. So get down there and like today's show. All right, overreaction number one. Yesterday on our reaction video, I said it's Heisman season. I'm saying it again here, but I'm going a different route. Ty Simpson goes in the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft. I don't think this is an overreaction at all. I think he is playing right now like one of the top quarterbacks in college football, not just in the SEC. And I do want to be careful, just make sure I'm not saying the best quarterback, because there are some other guys out there who are playing very, very good football right now. But you see, yesterday, finally got that one interception out of the way. That's probably a good thing at the end of the day. You can disagree with the play call all you want. I kind of disagree with it too. 4th and 1, run the ball. Give it to Jam Miller. Either way, you get that one interception out of the way. But, I mean, right now, dude, Ty Simpson is playing incredible. There's one thing that he could probably get a little bit better out, and he acknowledged that yesterday in the post-game press conferences as well, is he holds on to the ball a little bit too long sometimes. Just throw it away. Get rid of the ball. Throw it at somebody's feet, and don't take some of those, costly sacks, especially when you're down there in the red zone. That can hurt you a little bit. And right now, I got these from these Heisman odds from BetMGM last night. Just looked them up on my phone here. Ty Simpson right now, really tied for number 2 in the country right now in terms of those Heisman odds. Carson Beck is playing out of his mind as well. That's why I say that, I don't think he's playing like the best quarterback in the country right now. Carson Beck is going crazy. Dante Moore is going crazy. Fernando Mendoza is having a really good start to the season for him as well. Jeremiah Smith as well is just an absolute freak for Ohio State. But right now, I think Ty Simpson, before the season started, he was at like plus 7,000 or something like that for the Heisman odds. Now, number 2 in the Heisman odds, that's incredible. And I love how Ty Simpson is playing. He is poised. He's going out there playing with anticipation, getting the ball to his playmakers. I just love the play from Ty Simpson right now. So I want to hear from you guys down inside the comments section at the pinned comment of today's video. Grade Ty Simpson versus Vanderbilt. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what you guys think down at the pinned comment of today's video. Overreaction number 2. This Alabama team has grit now. This is not an overreaction. Hand up, I was wrong. Since the Florida State game, this team has done nothing but prove all of us that said that they were soft. There was no leadership on this team. They have proved all of us wrong. The Georgia game was the first big test that they had, and they passed that. Yesterday's game versus Vanderbilt did not start great, but they, showed that, they could fight back. It started off, Ty Simpson throws an interception on the first drive. They let Vanderbilt go 6 plays, 93 yards for a touchdown, including that 65-yard touchdown run by Cedric Alexander. Then Connor Talty misses a 47-yard field goal. Vandy gets the ball back. They drive all the way down the field to Alabama's 13, very, very easily, by the way. Justin Jefferson rips the ball out, forces a red zone turnover. The offense then drives 92 yards for a touchdown and only gave up one more touchdown after that on defense. The defense overall was really, really good outside of that first quarter. They forced 2 turnovers in the red zone. Then at the end of the game, all you need is a first down to end the game. Jam Miller says, F it. Let's put our foot on their necks, goes down there, scores a touchdown. I love the moxie that this team has had over the past couple of weeks. Kalen DeBoer has showed he does have a little bit of a psycho side to him as well. And, I even saw guys like Deontay Lawson, at the end of the game when things started getting a little bit chippy. He was snatching up Alabama players because he knows that, don't get baited into those cheap, easy, personal foul, late hit penalties that can hurt your team at the end of the day. So, yeah, since the Florida State game, this team has showed that they have that killer instinct in them, and they do have some grit. All right, we'll continue with some more overreactions here in just a second, but this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I use Prize Picks for a ton of different types of sporting events, whether it's professional football, baseball, basketball, MMA, college sports, and so much more. Prize Picks is a ton of fun, and if you guys know ball, you can win real money all season long on Prize Picks. This is what we got cooked up for the Lions versus the Bengals later on today. Amon-Ra St. Brown going with a more than on touchdowns for him, just a half touchdown, could be rushing, could be receiving. Jahmyr Gibbs, former Alabama player there, going with a more than on rushing yards for him at 76.5. Going against that Bengals defense, that's probably a good one there. And then Jake Browning, he hasn't been very good so far this year, going against a pretty good Lions defense as well, going with a more than a half interception for him. Prize Picks is super simple to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. Play Prize Picks to get action on football in more than 40 different states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and yes, Prize Picks is available in Alabama as well. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, which means you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You want to pick more than on Josh Allen pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns. Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link is down in the description of today's show. It's also going to be down at the pinned comment of today's show as well. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Overreaction number 3. Shoutout Kane Wommack. It is an absolute roller coaster with this Alabama defense sometimes. And I want to make something clear. I do like Kane Wommack. I think he has that psycho gene in him as well. Probably the biggest psycho gene, maybe outside of like Jamarcus Shepard or something like that, amongst this Alabama coaching staff. You know, sometimes the scheme that they play can lead to giving up some big plays, especially in the run game. But, you know, that only happens when guys aren't doing their job, when they're out of position. You know, whatever was said at halftime, really, after the first quarter, really did work. You know, the defense was lights out in the second half of that game yesterday. They gave up 113 rushing yards in the first quarter. After that, second quarter, they only gave up 13. In the third quarter, they only gave up 7. In the fourth quarter, I know Vanderbilt was trying to throw the ball a little bit more, but they only gave up 2 yards on the ground. I don't know why Vandy went away from Cedric Alexander, but you know that kid was absolutely cooking. He had that 65-yard touchdown run early in the game. But look, that's not our problem. That's theirs. They got 2 turnovers in the red zone. You almost had a third turnover in that game, but you know the Zay Mincy interception got taken away by that defensive hold. And you know most importantly, they held Vanderbilt to 5 of 11 on third downs. Last year, they were like 12 of 18 or something like that on third downs. That element killed Alabama last year. And, you know, Vanderbilt was 4th in the country going into that game on their third down conversion rate for the season. I think it was like 60% or something like that. If everybody does their job on this defense, it absolutely hums. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We've got daily videos for you guys, news, rumors, watch parties for you guys all season long and all year long as well. So join the community here at the Alabama Football Report. Hit that sub button for me right now. Overreaction number 4 is Jam MFN Miller. He's on another level right now. He brings another element to this Alabama offense. And look, I don't know why, you know, in the second and third quarters, Ryan Grubb feels the need to go away from the run game as much as he does. You know, he kind of did it for a little bit in yesterday's game as well. But, you know, then they just end up pounding the rock, and Jam Miller eats at the end of the day. Yesterday, 22 carries, 136 yards, over 6 yards per carry and a touchdown. You know, it's like every single time, you know, Jam Miller ended up getting the ball yesterday, you know, I was like, dude, he's good for 5 yards every single time. And especially at the end of the game, you know, when all Alabama needed was a first down to end up, you know, winning the game to ice it. He goes down there and says, F it, 17 seconds left, I'm going to score a touchdown. Jam Miller absolutely brings another element to this Alabama offense, and that really does help them a lot, and it is humming as well right now. So what is your one-word reaction to Alabama's win over Vanderbilt yesterday? Get down in the comments. Be creative. Let me know. Was it dominant? Was it, you know, scary at times? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section of today's show. All right, this Alabama team has depth for days. My take on that, 365 days a year. Whether it's the offensive line, the receiving corps, the defensive line has even built some much-needed depth despite some of those brutal injuries to starters that you had at the beginning of the season. The DBs have been building a lot of depth. Dejon Lee, he had a big pass breakup in the end zone yesterday. Justin Hill played a lot again yesterday with Quay Russaw being out. I saw Kelby Collins play a lot yesterday, both inside and out. Drake Kirkpatrick, he even got some snaps when Keon Sabb went out and almost came up with an interception when he was in there as well. Zay Mincy had that pick that ended up getting overturned. Caleb Edwards got, some valuable playing time early in the season when Danny Lewis Jr. was out. Yesterday, we saw Michael Carroll, William Sanders get some meaningful snaps along the offensive line. And I do want to bring this up, too. I don't know what the deal is right now with Jaden Roberts. I didn't see him play at all yesterday. With all the shuffling on the offensive line yesterday, I really don't know why we didn't see him. I don't know if there's some injuries that he's dealing with or there's something else happening behind the scenes with him. But it does suck to see him not getting out there and getting that playing time because I do love Jaden Roberts. I think he bleeds crimson, and I hope everything's good there. But, if this Alabama team, makes a run into the college football playoffs, the depth that they are building right now is going to come up big when it matters the most.